You have to make a decision. Right now, you need to decide upon something. So time's ticking. Come on, have you made up your mind? It's almost over. What do you think? Time's up. What did you think? Have you made a decision? Do you feel very panicked in such situations when you have to make a decision immediately? Then I'm sorry to tell you, but you're an indecisive person. Don't worry, it's not a negative word and we can work over your indecision. Don't worry about it. Try these tips that I'm going to share with you in this session where we are going to learn how to overcome indecision and how to be a quick decider, a person who can quickly decide and quickly make decisions. This is Skillopedia, the place to learn skills for the real world, and I am Michelle. It's time you stop giving yourself analysis paralysis. What is analysis paralysis? So when you analyze a lot before taking a decision, which means you think a lot about taking the decision, you think whether the decision is going to be good or not, whether it's the correct decision or the wrong decision. And then you finally start overthinking about it and you think of all the possibilities that could go wrong once the decision has been taken. This is what you call analysis paralysis. And many of the business entrepreneurs give themselves this paralysis. So you have to make sure that you do not paralyze your thinking capacity by constantly analyzing your decision, by overthinking it. Now that's not all. What happens is sometimes people analyze a decision even after it's taken. So once you've taken the decision, it's time you forget about it. Don't worry until you see the results. Stop overthinking it and thinking of the results, because the moment you think of the results, that's when the anxiety walks in. So make sure you do not analyze your decisions too much. It's usually suggested that you should sleep on an important decision. To sleep on a decision means that you do not take the decision immediately, but rather you spend long hours or a longer time, maybe a week or so, to think about it and then finally give a decision. But I suggest you do not sleep on a decision. What needs to be decided, be it sooner or later. So why don't we do it sooner and relieve ourselves of all the anxiety that will be caused if we stretch the decision too long? So the correct thing to do would be take out some time of the day. Allot at least 3 to 4 hours to that important decision. You take your time off almost everything, your phone, your social life, everything, and you sit on that decision. You don't sleep on it, but you sit on it. To sit on that decision means that you spend time analyzing the decision, but in a very positive way, not overthinking it, because here you're going to consider the pros and the cons. You're going to review all the information about the decision. And if at all it's needed, then you can talk it over with somebody, which means that you can talk about the decision, you can talk that whether the decision is a good one or not to someone who's close to you. So make sure that you allot yourself some time for every decision and do not stretch it too long. What needs to be done has to be done. The ideal strategy to make a decision is to use the 10-10-10 strategy. So what is the 10-10-10 strategy? This means that you think about your decision and you think that whether you'll be pleased with the decision 10 minutes later or 10 months later, and what about 10 years later? Are you still going to be happy with the decision that you took then? That's when you consider all the time frames. The present effect of the decision, the middle term impact of the decision, and also the long term impact that the decision is going to make in your life. This is going to help you take a very quick decision so that you don't have to worry too much about analyzing it. You will know exactly how it's going to impact you, and this is the best way to make a quick decision. This is how I make my decisions, in fact, by following the 10-10-10 strategy. Did you write your problem down? That's the first question that my mentor asks me when I share a problem with him. When I tell him that, all right, I'm suffering from indecision, which means I'm not able to take a decision on a particular topic at the moment, the first question that he asks me is, did you write the problem down? And I would be like, no. So that's not a good thing to do, actually. You must not underestimate the potential of writing down a decision or writing down a possible decision and listing all the possibilities with that decision. This will help you understand it at a much greater level, because when you write it down, you register the decision more. You register all the possibilities, and then you can decide more effectively. It gives you time to calm down from all the anxious thoughts that are there in your head and look at the positive side of it. You feel more gratitude when you write it down. You understand the decision better and all the possibilities. So as I told you in the last tip, that you should write your problem down and also the possible solution. So when you write down the possible solution, what exactly is it that you should write down? So when you're making a decision, you must list the pros and the cons. So the cons is the cost that you need to pay for that decision, or the cost that you need to bear for that decision. And then you have the pros, which are the positive aspects or the benefits of the decision that you are going to experience. So if you see that the pro sides is longer and heavier, you know your answer. You know which decision that you need to go ahead with. So this way you have more clarity, and you can quickly transfer all the information from your head into simple statistics. So it gives you a bigger picture, and you can take the decision more quickly. So this is the tip that I have for you. Write it down, list the pros and cons, and have a bigger picture in front of you to make the decision correctly. So the next tip that I have for you is that it's time that you hit your history books. Oh, you don't like history? Don't worry, I'm not talking about the literal history books, but I'm asking you to make a research, to get into some research about the decision that you're making. It's obvious that someone else may have already experienced the situation that you are in, because after all, you're making a business decision or a personal decision, and such situations are common to all. So speak to your business owning friends. Ask them, what do you think that they will suggest? Whatever they suggest, based on that, you should make your decision. You should always have a second opinion and not just your own opinion. So let's say that you want to advertise your product. How will you advertise your product? You're confused between advertising it through social media, or should you have an event to advertise and promote your product? So the best thing would be to list the pros and cons, and at the same time talk to your experienced friends, business owning friends, who can guide you correctly about this. Phone a friend. This is a solution to almost everything. Whether you're facing something personal or if it's about a business decision, whenever you phone a friend, you will definitely get some solution. The major problem with business decisions is that we overthink too much and we feed our inability to think. And that's when we feel all paralyzed and we are not able to think because we are overthinking too much. Now, in such a situation, you should refer to somebody who is not a business person, because in this situation, that person would be able to react in a much better way. They'd be able to think in a much better way because they're not overthinking like you. So whenever I have to take a business decision, I call my brother-in-law, who is a plastic surgeon, and he has no relation with business, but he has a great common sense. So I ask him my problem and I ask him for advice, and he tells me the solution, and he comes to a conclusion so quickly. And then I think that, oh, why couldn't I do it? And then I realized that just because I was overthinking, I couldn't do it. So call a friend or call a relative who is not from business, and possibly they can give you a better solution. The final way to decide confidently is by trusting your gut feeling. Yes, it's time you start listening to what you feel and not just what you think. It could be that the logistics, the paper, and all the logics could be against your decision. However, if you're feeling something and you're sure that you can achieve it, then listen to your feeling and go for it. Don't think twice, because this is exactly what's going to drive you to achieve your aim. So don't always think too logically. Follow your gut feeling. It will definitely lead you to a better position when you're trying to decide something. It's time that you stop thinking too much when you're taking a decision, because when you're overthinking, the tangle gets only tanglier. So don't worry, clear up your mind using all the tips that I've shared with you. Try and follow them, and definitely I'm sure you're going to have a good experience taking an instant decision or a long-term decision next time. Do leave me in the comments if you have had an experience like that, and please share with me if you follow my advices and then you had a wonderful experience. I'll be awaiting your comments. Thank you so much for watching this session. This is Michelle signing off. Thanks for being with me at Skillopedia, the place to learn skills for the real world.